Right now we have this opportunity, this pleasure of speaking to
Gary Chalk.
and the voice of Optimus Prime.
Transform and roll out.
You've been voice acting for the last couple of years, playing many characters. When you come back to when you play your music, I mean, you started off playing music, and then your acting career took off, and you do a lot of voice work. When you come back to your music, you know, after delving into those art forms, did it really expand your arsenal on stage, the things you can do on your voice?
Well, because, as I say, you know, when music is telling a story, and as an actor, the thing is that you're pretending to be something else, but that essence, the essence of every character you do, no matter what it is, even if it's a cartoon character, the essence of what that character is you, and it's you again telling a story, and that's what it's all about. And the worst thing is to get up and tell a story and nobody cares about it. And if you don't believe what you're saying, if you don't believe in everything, you know, with your whole being, then someone will look at it and go, "Yeah, liar, I don't believe you." And if they don't believe you, they turn off and they don't want to watch. And so, well, you know, if you watch a movie, and if you see a really bad performance, you go, "God, this sucks. I don't know why this movie sucks, but it really sucks." And you don't really care about this character because, hey, you don't believe it. If you know, it's like some, you know, bad B movies. You know, you listen to them act and you go, "It's not believable," because they don't believe it. And so you have to, and that's what you do as a performer. You have to have a fundamental belief in what you're saying and what you're doing, so that other people who are watching you will enjoy the same experience. And it's helped me a great deal, you know, in expression and phrasing, the words. It's a wonderful thing. And with cartoons is very funny. I've done thousands of cartoons. For, you know, the last 30 years I've been doing cartoons. And people always come up and they say, "I can do funny voices. I can do funny voices really easy. Yeah, I could do Donald Duck or something," you know, and you know, and I'm going, "Yeah, but can you do Donald Duck voice and do Shakespeare and make it believable?" That's the key, because voiceover acting is like 75% acting, 25% voice. If you can do a crazy voice but can't make a scene pointed, like, you know, imagine, you know, Daffy or Sylvester the cat talking to his son and doing a cartoon voice, but you don't care about him. It's like, you know, Captain, you know, or watching Finding Nemo with Dad and the little Nemo. You know, it's very heartbreaking, that story, and that's what it's all about. It's all about truth and telling the truth as you do your performance, and you know that it's a performance, but you have to make it as honest as possible and as real as possible, so that people engage with you and are drawn into the world of your character.
You just came back from an extensive trip.
Oh, yes.
Into the United States.
Yep. Yeah, I used to do a show called Stargate, and I also did a show called Transformers and He-Man, Masters of the Universe, and all these different cartoon shows, and I have a lot of fans around the world. And so I had been invited this year to go to various cities, like London and Birmingham and Prague in the Czech Republic, and Sydney, Australia, and Dallas and Atlanta and Wichita, and now I'm going to Florida and back to Australia to meet the fans and sign autographs and take pictures and go and actually see them. And that's what I've been doing the last 4 or 5 months, is traveling around the world doing that one thing. And it's been a hell of a lot of fun. And it's kind of cool. You actually get to meet the people who watch your shows, and, you know, and see how they like it, and they seem to really like it. So I'll keep doing that, and it's quite an eye-opener, quite an experience to. It gives me an opportunity to see a lot of different countries, and fell in love with Czech Republic. I've always loved Australia. I've been there once before, and I was so glad to go back. And the United States, it's hot. When I was in Dallas, it was 106, 104 every day. It was just a kicker.
Really enjoyed your performance tonight. You've actually been performing at Displaced, at Displaced for the past year, and around this neighborhood, kids.
For several years, yeah.
For a while.
Yeah, for quite well, about, I guess it'd be just over 3 years I've been performing here. I used to perform many years ago, like 28 years ago. And I stopped for 24 years because my film career took off, so I didn't really have enough time to play music. And then one night my friend talked me into coming down and playing, and I said no. I was terrified to play, and got up on stage, and people seemed to like it, and I'd forgotten how much fun it was. And then I started coming every week and built up my repertoire, and now people seem to really enjoy it. So I play at various venues around town and around the world. I've played in England and Czechoslovakia, or Czech Republic as they call it now, and played in Atlanta and Dallas, and had a really wonderful time. And so it's a bit late in my career to get back into music, but I still enjoy it, and people still enjoy what I do. So I'll continue to do it until I can't.
Everybody seemed to really get into your performance. Yeah, there was a loud applause after your set. It seemed like you were really unwinding when you were on stage. You know, as an artist, when you're delving more into one art form, like you've been heavily involved for the last couple of years in your acting, and then you get the chance to go back to your music.
To music, yeah.
What kind of gratification or buzz is that to be able to unwind like that on stage and perform?
Well, the thing is it's like music is, for me, music has been a part of my life all my life. You know, since I was a kid, I used to sing in a choir when I was 8 years old, and sing in various musicals, and through high school, and then went into music in college and did college musicals and community theater and so forth, and really got into it with an old blues band that I used to play with back in 1969-70. And getting back into music it's like riding a bicycle. You know, you can stop it for years and years, and then you get back into the groove, and you go, this is really fun, because I really enjoy. I think the most thing I enjoy is that people get a lot of pleasure out of it, and I like to make that connection with the audience, and they like to make a connection with me, and it makes the music better, and it makes the evening a lot of fun, and that's what I like to do, is to engage and have a good time. Because as long as I'm having a good time, I'm hoping you're having a good time. Because I'd hate to have people up there watching me be nervous. It's not fun. It's not fun watching anybody who's nervous. So I got rid of my nerves several years ago, singing wise, and just started doing it. And the transition, like, I've worked on stage and did improv comedy, and been mainly in the last 20 or 30 years doing film and television, and worked a lot of it, so I don't have any nerves on that. But it's a different thing. There it's more technical, and the performance is for your own self and for your crew, and the audience is what you get in the reviews later on. But when you're on stage live playing music, it's like you're right there, and the people either love you or they hate you. You know, there's no middle ground, and I'm hoping that they like it, and so I'm going to continue to do it as long as they like it, and I'm really liking it now. I find that it's very, it's good for my spirit. It's good for my mood. I could be in the darkest mood and have the worst day, get up on stage and bang out a few songs, and I'm happy as a clam. That's what I like to do.
Yeah, I just brought up your trip because it's very interesting. Your songwriting, the subsequent form today, leaving family, traveling. Water is my garden. No, sorry, water is.
Blue water's my daughter, gonna skip like a stone. That's all about. That's what it is. It's about being. The song is about being in love with the sea and all the things that the sea does, and that's what you do. You leave your family and you leave your friends, but you know you're coming back, and they know you're coming back, and so it's like a little death. But it's like everybody has to follow their own destiny, their own journey, and that's what life is. It's just a big old journey, and that's what I've been doing, is following that dream and making it a reality, and that's what I like to do.
When you're singing the lyrics, it's very genuine. The poignancy in what you were saying. Some of the material you sang tonight, was it recently written?
No.
Oh, okay.
All those songs are quite old. You know, they're a long time ago. But but you see, that's the thing, is when you're singing a song and performing, you know, with on stage with people, what you're basically doing is telling a story. And that's what I like to do, is tell a story and engage with people and bring them into my world and say, here's my world, I'd like to tell you about it, and this is a story about this, and this is a story about that, and sometimes the stories have pain in them, sometimes they're happy, sometimes joyful. It's all about seducing people into your world and bringing them into your world and making them part of it and sharing those experiences. And the only way that you can do that is if you feel those feelings, and you feel them, then the people who are listening feel the feelings as well. And that's what you want. You want them to be as excited or as sad or melancholic as you are about the story you're telling. Make them part of it.
As the listeners heard earlier in the interview, you started playing blues a long time ago in your formative years. What got you into that genre? And
the genre?
And what keeps you going? What keeps you singing the blues?
Oh, well, I was first introduced to the blues when I was about 15 years old. And I was listening to a fellow called Lightning Hopkins. And I listened to this song and I went, wow, I really like this material. I like the simplicity of it, and I like the honesty of the feelings and the honesty of the writing. And there's nothing, it says, I feel bad, I'm going home to have a beer. And that's basically what it is. It says, for example, a good song, it goes, when I'm old and I can't take anymore, when I'm old and I can't take anymore, I'll still love you, baby, but then I gotta go. And that's what the blues is about. It's not so much about sadness, because you think blues, oh, pain and misery. It's a structure, and it's derivative from the music from Africa.
Yeah.
When they brought it from Africa to America, and they were kind of work songs, and they made people who were the slaves anyway, made them feel better when they sang the songs and made the work bearable. And they're all derivative from their work songs. And then you take modern day rock and roll and soul and all the other things, all come from that structure, from that kind of music. And I like the modern music. I listen to a lot of it. I play some of it sometimes, but I really like the roots. I like the structures, and I like the words, and my voice lends itself to that kind of music, and I've been playing it since I was 15 or 16 years old, and that's for me.
Is there a link, website, or I was gonna say MySpace, but these days people are kind of more on the Facebook and the Bandcamp that people can go see information on your upcoming live
Oh
performances
yeah,
on your
you
music.
can go on to the Gary Chalk fan page on Facebook. You can key in Google and go to my IMDb site, which is quite something, or you can watch, just Google my name, Gary Chalk with 2 R's, on YouTube, and you can see hundreds of things that I have done or where I've gone, and I think you'll get a large charge out of it. It's quite something. You know, I got a lot of music videos on there, and videos of interviews that I've done in different places, and TV show clips and cartoon clips. There's tons of them on YouTube. So there you go. And on Facebook too.
Listeners, we were just speaking to after his live performance here at Displace Hatchery.
Gary Chalk.
And the voice of Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime. I'm the voice of Optimus Prime. He-Man, Masters of the Universe. Lieutenant Stone and G.I. Joe. Dr. Robotnik and Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, man, I could go on forever, but all I can say is transform and roll out. Well, that was fun.
I'm going to call Dinobot in from the perimeter. We'll need his knowledge of the Predacon base to do something about that mega cannon.
I'm not gonna stand by and watch these young planets be sacrificed. Kicker, tell Alpha Q that I promise we're going to stop Megatron at all costs.